Hey, I get it, you're staring at another line of products and wondering if you should actually spend the money or just keep scrolling. You've probably heard the phrase "you get what you pay for," but when it comes to protecting your computer, server, or home office gear, a bad purchase can mean lost data, wasted time, and a whole lot of frustration. That's why I'm diving into the EATON 9PX 1500VA 1350W online double conversion UPS today. The link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll walk you through exactly what you need to know before you click Add to Cart. First off, let's talk about why you'd even consider a double conversion UPS in the first place. The key promise here is that it provides clean, uninterrupted power by converting AC to DC and then back to AC again. For most people that sounds like a lot of jargon, but in practice it means your equipment sees virtually zero voltage fluctuations, no matter if the grid is humming or if a power surge hits. That's a real safety net for anyone who relies on a desktop workstation for work-from-home projects, a small server for a home lab, or even a high-end gaming rig that you don't want to restart every time the lights flicker. Now, who should actually buy the 9PX? If you're running a workstation that pulls close to a kilowatt, think multi-monitor setups, a decent CPU, maybe a couple of external drives, this unit sits right in that sweet spot. Its 1500VA rating translates to roughly 1350 watts, so it's comfortably above what a typical office PC needs, giving you about 8 to 10 minutes of runtime before the battery is exhausted. 8 minutes might not sound like much, but it's enough time to save your work, gracefully shut down applications, or switch over to a generator if you have one connected. For people who run a small home server, perhaps a NAS or a media server that streams 4K content, those same 8 minutes can be used to keep the server up while the main power returns, preventing a sudden power cut that could corrupt your files. On the flip side, if you're just looking for a basic plug-in surge protector to guard your laptop or a single monitor, the 9PX is overkill. It's a larger, heavier unit that expects you to use a dedicated circuit, and you'll need to plan for its footprint in a rack or on the floor. So if you're a student in a dorm room or someone who only needs occasional protection for a laptop, you'll probably waste money on features you'll never tap. Let's get into the practical strengths. The first thing most people notice when they power it up is the online or double conversion design, which, as I mentioned, eliminates any transfer time that you get with line interactive models. In a line interactive UPS, there's a brief moment, often a fraction of a second, when the unit switches from utility power to battery during a dip. That gap can be enough to hiccup your screen or, in the worst case, corrupt a file being written. With the EATON 9PX, the power is always coming from the inverter, so there's zero delay. I've read anecdotal reports from IT professionals who said the difference felt like a solid wall of power, no flicker, no hiccup, just smooth continuity. Another big plus is the LCD interface. It's not just a tiny indicator light, the screen actually shows you input voltage, battery capacity, and estimated runtime based on current load. That means you can pull up the panel and quickly see if you're pulling too much power or if the battery is getting low. The unit also includes a set of 8 IEC 515A receptacles, each of which is full-size and can handle standard PC plugs. That's a nice convenience, no need for adapters or power strips that could introduce extra points of failure. You might wonder about the online double conversion claim being a power hog. It does draw a little more from the wall than a line interactive model because it continuously runs the inverter. In real-world daily use, though, the impact is modest. Most users report that the unit's idle power consumption sits in the 30-40 watt range. If you're already paying for a dedicated 120V circuit, that added draw won't noticeably bump up your electricity bill. The cost of that extra inefficiency is more than offset by the peace of mind of uninterrupted power. Now, let's talk about the weaknesses that matter after the purchase. The first is size and weight. This UPS weighs over 40 pounds and measures roughly 17 inches wide, so you'll need a stable surface, preferably a rack or a desk that can handle the load. It's not something you'll want to slide around under a coffee table. If you have a confined office space, plan the layout ahead of time. The second issue is the battery replacement cost. The 9PX uses a sealed lead-acid battery pack that typically lasts 3 to 5 years depending on usage patterns. When the battery finally needs replacement, the cost isn't trivial. OUTLE.